Hey Fashion Crossroads fans, how's it going? It's Wednesday wardrobing again, and we are in the midst of a 4-part series on dressing your body type. Tonight we are going to be continuing with 3 more body types. Last week, if you missed it, we covered, let's see, pear, diamond, and oh, I can't think of the other one. I'm sorry. There's one other body type we covered last week. We talked about the typical features of that body type, of basically how it's defined, and then we talked about ways to dress that body type and some goals that you would have with each body type. So tonight we are picking up with uh-oh, where did we go? It's trying to get me to set up my iPad. We are picking up with the hourglass, the inverted triangle, and the rectangle shapes. So those are the 3 shapes I'm going to cover tonight. And just while I have people hopping on, hey Nita, how are you? I wanted to tell you about something that's super exciting that's coming up. So we are celebrating 49 years in business next month. We're so excited, and I have some really fun things planned. So we are having a 3-day anniversary event, and that's going to be the very first weekend in May. I think it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So it doesn't conflict with Mother's Day. Mother's Day is the following weekend. So it's the weekend before Mother's Day. So it's a great time to shop for Mother's Day, by the way. But we are going to, one of the big things that we're doing for our anniversary is we are launching a brand new line for us, which is called Kendra Scott. And this is not a brand new line for the United States. It's extremely popular in the South. It's just breaking into our part of the country. You can Google it and you'll see a ton of hype about it. It's really, really popular. We're going to be the only ones in Casper to have it, so we're super excited. And we are launching that brand in the store in honor of our 49th anniversary. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be having 49 door prizes. So we're going to be giving away, it's like about, I think it's works out to be like 16 door prizes a day. And we're going to have giveaways. So just like our Dress Your Body Before You Dress the Turkey event, if you make a purchase, you're going to get registered to win. We're giving a free hobo bag away. We're giving a free Simply Top away. We're giving some tribal swag away. We're giving a Kendra Scott necklace and earring set away. We are giving away spa packages. We are giving away some Senegents. There's a whole list of things. So you can see all of that on our event page on Facebook. We'll tell you everything that's happening with that. And then lastly, on Saturday of our anniversary sale, we're going to have cake, birthday cake. And we are also going to have a fresh flower bar. We're partnering with Consider the Lilies, which is next door to us. And they're going to be set up in here with fresh flowers. And for $20, you're going to be able to create your own spring flower bouquet and take it home. So that's going to be while supplies last. That'll start at 11. So all of that is happening, coming up, so make sure you mark your calendars and plan to come and visit us for that super fun event. Okay? All right, so let's talk body type tonight. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the hourglass shape. So the hourglass is your classic Marilyn Monroe, right? It's very proportional. Not short-waisted, not long-waisted. It's a person that has shoulders, a defined waist, hips, maybe a butt, but everything is really proportional. It's the easiest body type to dress. It's the one we all wish we had. So hourglass is our next body type. It is defined by delicate bones. Generally, these people are small-boned. They might have a large bust. They definitely have a small waist. They have curved, shapely hips, and they also have shapely legs. So key figure balancing actions is to draw attention to your waist because you have it, and to emphasize your curves. So different than the pear shape that has a small waist with bigger hips, the hourglass shape is very proportional. So the hips and the shoulders are very proportional to each other. And then so that if you're cinching the waist, it's going to look really nice, as opposed to the pear shape. If you cinch the waist, it's going to emphasize the larger hips. So showing off the waist is really what a person with an hourglass body shape wants to do. You want to use waistbands, you want to use belts. Your body type is made for cropped tops. Mid-rise pants are going to show off your waist. Soft and flowy fabrics are your friend as they show off your curves. Wrap styles are particularly flattering on you, whether it is wrap skirts or dresses. I'm going to show you some examples here in just a second. If you have a very large bust or round protruding rear, be careful not to cinch your waist too tight or you'll emphasize all of that. Oversized styles just hide all your assets, so avoid those. Shoot for semi-fitted, tailored styles that define your waist or hint at your waist. If you are larger bottomed, then you want to hint at your waist as opposed to cinch your waist. Choose medium-sized handbags that hit at your waist. So you're not going to want handbags that are hanging down at your hips, like you've got a really nice waist. So the shoulder bags are going to be a great style for you. And as this body type usually has fine bones, you should choose delicate jewelry and low profile shoes. So not chunky, thick shoes are just going to make your legs look not as shapely as they could have. And, you know, not overly large jewelry. I kind of tend to like a little bit bulkier jewelry, so I don't think we're talking about you only can wear the thin little chains, but you don't want to wear huge jewelry. Anything semi-fitted is going to flatter your curves. Tailored jackets and short skirts will look lovely on you, as will wrap styles, as we already mentioned. Choose styles that can be belted to show off your waist. Wearing your blouse knotted and cropped with jeans will show your slim waist and hips. Avoid loose fitting and boxy styles. So let's look at some good styles for hourglass. So here's a great example of cropping your blouse. So this pant is hooked up in here, but let me pull this off so you can see it more proportionally. So this little outfit would look something like this. So cropping your blouse so you can see your waist and your slim hips is going to be better for you than wearing your blouse long. Short little jackets like this are going to be great because they're going to accentuate that part of your body. So that is one example. Tailored is going to be your friend. So when we say tailored, we want darts. We want jackets that come in at the waist, create a shape as opposed to something that's very boxy. Here is an untailored jacket just to give you an example. Okay, so tailored jacket versus untailored jacket. And we're going to talk about untailored jackets have their place for some of these body types, and we're going to talk about that. Anything that will kind of show your curves off. So here's a beautiful dress that would be great for an hourglass. You've got generally, you know, nice bust line, curved waist and hips. This kind of style is going to be beautiful on that body type. And then anything that has a defined waist. So tie belts are great for other body types, but you notice this little jumpsuit has the waist defined by the belt loops, and this is going to be great for an hourglass shape because she's going to be able to tie this to fit and suit her waist. So if she is larger bottomed, she would maybe tie this a little bit looser. If she's not, she would go ahead and tie that tight and really emphasize that super shapely waist that she has. All right, so those are some good examples of hourglass figures. Hourglass, like I said, it's the easiest figure to dress. You're going to have the fewest issues, the fewest, I guess you're going to have to think the least of any of the body types in dressing your body. So you're really, really fortunate if you're an hourglass. All right, so next is the inverted triangle. So this is someone who has broad shoulders and then gets slim down toward the legs. So inverted triangle means the triangle's upside down, like this, okay? So we've got broad shoulders, and then we come down, and then we have a slim bottom. So that's really someone whose body is defined by this. Let's see. Hey, Marco, how are you? Okay, so this is defined by a medium to large bust, a defined waist, but medium in width. So you have a waist, but it's not small, it's medium. So if you were to like say, you know, this is small, this is medium, and this is no waist, you're right in the middle of those things. And you generally have narrow hips and shapely legs. So in this body type, your best feature is your narrow hips and your shapely legs. So your key figure balancing actions are to draw attention to the lower half of your body. You're broad shouldered, so you want to balance this part of your body out with the smaller lower half. So you're going to draw attention away from your shoulder and upper body. You're going to avoid styles that make your shoulders look bigger, and choose styles that make them look smaller. So because of your pretty legs, your skirts and short dresses are going to be a great choice for you. Anything that shows off your legs is going to be a great choice for you. Slimming, slim styled pants, leggings, you want to avoid like the big wide legs because it will make you look boxy, because remember your shoulders are wide, and so if you put a wide-legged bottom on, you can see what happens. You'll end up looking like a box unless you bring it in at the waist, but then that's going to emphasize that maybe your waist isn't the slimmest, maybe it's more medium instead of really small. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to emphasize the slimness of your legs and avoid wide-legged kinds of pants. Wearing loose, non-tailored or semi-tailored tops will be your best bet to minimize your upper torso. So semi-tailored means hints at a waist without cinching at the waist. Avoid structured shoulders. So you're going to not want to wear a jacket like this that has, this is a structured shoulder. It even has a shoulder pad kind of thing in there. You're going to want to avoid that. You're going to want to do softer dropped shoulders like this. Do you see the difference? Do you see how that just hangs nicely over the hanger rather than stands up from the hanger? That's what you're going to want to do, because you're going to want to make sure that those shoulders are not emphasized, because it's just going to make them look bigger. You are going to definitely want to avoid shoulder pads because it's going to make your shoulders wider. For this same reason, you're going to avoid necklines that draw attention to your shoulders. So no boat necks. Boat necks are those shirts that have the wide neck that kind of like come out and like end here next to your shoulders. You're going to be much better off in V-necks, because V-necks are going to make your shoulders appear smaller. The deeper the V, the better. Styles that have loose sleeves like kimonos, raglan, and dropped shoulders will give you extra room in the bust. V-necks will optically slim your upper torso. We just talked about that. Minimize your upper body by using dark and neutral colors on the top, and play up your strengths by wearing color on the bottom. I'm going to show you an example of that in just a second. Choose better quality, heavier fabrics that are going to drape over your upper body rather than cling to your upper body. We talked about that during the last video, so I don't want to repeat myself a lot, but heavier fabrics, which also mean more expensive fabrics, are your friend when you are trying to minimize figure issues, because the heavier, better quality fabrics are going to lay and drape on your body in a much more flattering way than the cheaper, thinner fabrics. You're going to choose low-waisted styles. So again, You want to draw attention to your legs, not your waist, and your waist might be a little thick, so you're not gonna have things hit you right at the waist. You're gonna focus more on your hips, because generally your hips are narrow. So you're gonna do like low slung belts, things like that that draw attention away from this part of your waist and down on your slim hips. And then wear handbags so they hit at the slimmest part of your body. So if that's your hips, your handbag wants to hit here as opposed to here. So let's look at some of those things that we just talked about. Okay, so here's a great example of a belted shirt dress that's really good for this body type, because you can position this belt wherever you want. You don't have to have it right at your waist. You can wear it lower slung, which is going to be more flattering for you than up here around your waist, because your waist is not as slim. So that's a great example of how you would use a belt if this is your body type. This is also a great shoulder for that body type, because it's a drop shoulder. So you can see there's no structuredness to the shoulder. This does have a little bit of a boat neck, so that would be the only drawback, but this style and the tie belt in this case is a really good choice. Let's see, I think this one was. So this is another good choice for this body type. So when you have a longer tunic and a shorter skirt, that's going to be really, really good, because your asset are your legs. So you want to show them off, and you want to minimize your upper body. So look at how this shirt, the way that it's color blocked, when I put it up to my body, it is the color demarcation is at my hips, and that is where this body type is the slimmest. So this is very neutralized because it's dark. The attention is drawn to my hips where my body is slimmer, and then I'm pairing it up with a short skirt that shows off my legs, which is my best asset. Do you see how that works? Pretty cool, really. And then we talked about the non-structured jacket. So again, with this body type, you're going to want to have longer jackets. You're not going to want to have something hitting you up here, because it's going to emphasize the thickness through your waist. You're going to want to have something that comes down over your hips to the point where you're the slimmest, so that you've got this like loose, oversized top, and then slim legs on the bottom that really help to really show off that part of your figure. Here's another example, and this is a great example of how this type of body would want to play up the bottom with some print. So here we've got this long jacket, again, great style for this body type, and then paired up with these slim-legged printed bottoms. So if you are this body type, then you're going to be able to wear and draw attention to your legs, because that's your best feature. So that's where you put your color, that's where you put your print, and you neutralize this part of your body. Okie dokie. The next and last one is the straight or the rectangle. So this is defined by a square shape where the upper and lower torso are the same width. So a medium-sized bust, a wide rib cage, a thick waist, sometimes a flattened rear, and slender legs. So basically, with this body type, you're just kind of thick in your torso. So you don't really have a defined waist. You kind of come straight down, and then you get slimmer as you get to the bottom half of your body. So a lot of the same things that we've talked about apply here as well. So you are going to want to draw attention away from your rib cage and your waist, and draw attention to your legs. You're going to want to avoid skirts that add girth with style details like gathered or tiered, because again, you're trying to emphasize this as the slimmest part of your body, so you don't want flowy things down here that are adding girth down here when you're thick up here, if that makes sense. Instead, choose sleek skirts in any style from short to long. Again, your legs are your assets, so any skirt is going to work well for you. Just avoid, you want stuff that goes slim over your hips, and if it does flare out, it's very draped and not like stiff. Tailored slacks and mid-rise bottoms. So anybody with a thick waist is going to do well with a mid-rise. It's probably going to fit you better for one thing because it's meant to sit a little bit lower where you're thicker. And then also it helps elongate your torso when you wear a mid-rise. So typically the rectangle body shape is usually short-waisted. And what that means is that if you're looking at your body and you look at where the slenderest part of your waist is, it means that this half of your body is short compared to this half of your body. I'm short-waisted, so you can see that on me. Obviously, your legs are always going to be longer than your torso, but you can see that if you were to divide my body into percentages, you would say that 1/3 is up here and 2/3 is down here. So when you're short-waisted, lower rises help to elongate your torso and helps to balance out your figure. So mid-rises are going to be your friend if this is your figure type. Wearing longer tops with slim bottoms to draw attention to your waist, same as I just showed you, very similar. Monochromatic, all one color, or a jacket and pant that match and then a top underneath that's a different color are going to be more flattering for you. You want to make sure that you blouse out your top so that you're not, again, drawing attention to the thickness of your waist. You're going to not want your tops to be clingy because clingy tops are going to show the wideness of your rib cage. They're going to show that you don't really have much of a waist. You want them to be draped. Again, better quality, heavier fabrics. V-necks are going to vertically slim and elongate your torso. And be careful about where you are making demarcations. So if you are short-waisted, you want to be careful that by doing one color here and one color here, you're not emphasizing how short-waisted you are. You bring the color down to elongate your torso and balance out the two halves of your body. Okay, so longer jackets that fit loose over a short skirt, just like I showed you. Shift style dresses that fit loose, loose fitting safari jackets and slim legged pants, styles that have a dropped waist, so instead of an empire waist, the waist is down here. You want to avoid empire waist because that's just going to emphasize the short-waistedness. And then tunic dresses that fit tight to the top and then flare out from there. Those are all going to be beneficial for you. So hopefully, as I've covered these body types in the last 2 weeks, you can see there is a method to the madness, and essentially it is determining what is your best feature and then knowing how to draw attention to that feature and away from your worst feature. So if you're not sure about all of this, like if after listening to these 6 body types, you're like, well, I really don't know where I fit in, you can take some measurements to give you some idea. Measure your shoulders, measure your waist, measure your hips. If you look at those numbers and you're seeing big, small, big, you're probably an hourglass. If you see big, small, small, you might be an inverted triangle. If you see small, big, big, you might be a diamond shape. Do you see how that works? So you can measure your various parts. Like I said, shoulders, waist, hip, maybe around your butt. You might do an upper hip and a lower hip because somebody who's pear-shaped is going to probably extend here out a little bit. So you might have 2 hip measurements. As opposed to, you know, the widest place in your hips. That's going to help you kind of figure out what you are and then help you to try to apply these principles to your body type. But don't let it be intimidating, because really, if you think about it, it's very logical in the sense that you are minimizing your detractions and emphasizing your attractions. And you're doing that by the length of your tops, the length of your bottoms, the style of your bottoms, the style of your tops. Okay? Hey, hi Michelle, hi Susan. Sorry joining late, had my granddaughter for supper. Well, I'm glad you had your granddaughter for supper. I think that that's way more important than listening to me prattle on about body types. So I'm glad that you did that. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off tonight? Keep in mind that each of these videos has a corresponding blog post. My blog post is Talking Trends on WordPress, so you can go and read it if it's easier for you to read than, listen, or you need to kind of process through all of this information. It's a lot of information. You're welcome, Nita. My pleasure. Any other questions? Okay, if you missed video 1, video 2, you do not have to scroll through Facebook forever to try to find it. You can go to my YouTube channel, Fashion Crossroads Inc. I have all of these videos filed under Dressing Your Body Type. So you just go to that playlist and you'll see I need to upload last week's video. I forgot to do that, which I'll work on that tonight. So you can go back and rewatch these videos right there, and they're easy to find, and you don't have to do the Facebook scroll, which is a pain in the neck. Okay? Yes, thank you. Such good examples. Thank you, Margot. So live sale tomorrow morning. Come and have coffee with Christy and I at 9 a.m. I am featuring a brand new line for us called Wish List. I really like it. I picked it up in Las Vegas when I was there at this last market. Very pretty. I have really pretty skirts, beautiful things for the office. They're dressy enough to wear for graduations, for Mother's Day, for weddings, and that's kind of really what I worked on this collection for, is like dressy enough to wear to those little dressy occasions that we typically have this time of year. So tune in for that. If you watch live, I will embed a promo code that allows you to save $15 off one item in tomorrow's featured collections. But you have to watch it, and you don't necessarily have to watch it live. It's good till 9 p.m. So you have until 9 p.m. to watch the video, get the promo code, and then go use it online. Okay? And then Christy has some really pretty things. I'm just trying to think what brand she did. She has some really pretty dresses and some really pretty tops. Both of the collections are really nice for tomorrow. So it's going to be worth your time. So 9 a.m. right here on our Fashionistas page. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you.